Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at more relationship stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. I stayed at my long distance boyfriend's house and was disgusted, not sure what to do. I've been seeing/dating this guy since July and things have been really good. It's a long distance situation, but we've managed to see each other at least once a month. So far, he's been kind, thoughtful, and no major red flags were detected on my end until the first time I flew out to visit him. I decided to stay at an Airbnb since we were still getting to know each other and I wanted my own space. The trip went super well and I had an amazing time. Last week I went back and he invited me to stay with him this time. He lives with his brother and dad, but his dad was away, so it made sense and I agreed. When I got to his house, it was late and dark, so I didn't notice much other than a weird smell. They have 3 dogs and live on an island, so I figured that had to do with it. When I woke up, I started to notice that the house was pretty dirty. Things scattered everywhere, not hoarding bad, but pretty bad. The bathroom had dog hair, dirt, and overall looked like it hadn't been kept up with in a while. I tried to look past it since there are 2 guys living there and kept a positive attitude. Nobody gave me any rundown about the situation or apologized for the mess, but I figured his dad might have a small hoarding problem of some sort. On the second day, I started to notice even more things. The dogs don't get walked, so they poop and pee and puke in the house and in the laundry area that's right by the kitchen. If you have a dog and you don't walk your dog, F you. Sincerely. I mean, unless you do have a genuine excuse as to why you can't walk your dog, that's okay, but like, if you're just lazy, they only get let out to the side yard from time to time. The dogs have to pass by the bathroom to get to it, which explains why there's so much hair and paw prints and dirt in there. I started to feel uncomfortable showering there because I didn't feel like I was in a clean environment and I feel terrible for the animals. Then a really awful smell like puke worthy appeared from the laundry area. He mentioned it and I asked him what he thought it was. He said puke from the dogs, but he couldn't see where it was coming from. The day after, he wanted to invite his friends over to hang out, so I told him he'd have to clean up that smell at the very least before they arrived. He told me that he would if he had time, and I started feeling even more disgusted than before. He didn't have enough time the next day, and his brother and him figured it was a great idea to burn cantaloupe incense right before their friends came to mask and hide the smell. They were hanging out on the table right by the smell the entire time they were there. At this point, I was beyond grossed out. What do you mean you don't have enough time to clean it up? It doesn't even take long to clean it up. 1 minute, that's all it takes to clean up poop. I'm so confused. Like, seriously. Honestly, I know some people like that. Like, their pet would poop in a certain area and they wouldn't clean it up straight away. Why are you leaving it there? Like, why are you letting the smell marinate? Like, I don't get those kind of people. Like, seriously. You're just sitting on the couch, you're doing nothing worthy. And you're just like, I'll clean it up later. Just get up and clean up. What is wrong with you? I spoke to him about it, the mess and the lack of urgency to clean up the smell, and he said that staying on top of cleaning with the dogs was an uphill battle and he had to some degree given up on it. He also told me that he doesn't plan on living like that once he lives on his own and will not be getting any pets. As for the smell, he told me he didn't think it was puke and thought it might be some sort of animal or rodent and didn't want to clean it up and find something in front of me, so he brushed it off as much as he could so he could get to it after I left. I told him I would have rather seen whatever it was and saw that there was at least some initiative on his part to clean it than to let me think it's not a priority to live in a clean space. I feel weird because cleanliness is really important to me and I just can't believe what I experienced. I do not want nor could I live like that in the future and I kind of want to end it. But he's a great guy in all other respects, from what I know, since I've now been totally surprised. How would you handle the situation? Seriously, I don't think you know someone entirely until you live with them. That's for sure. Because you don't get to see the vulnerable side of them. You just see the side that they want to show to you in public kind of thing. Until you live with them, you don't know what they're like as a person in their own comfortable space. And you might not even entirely know someone until you marry them, right? That's the scary thing. Like, we hear so many stories about people changing after the marriage. Like, what the hell? But I honestly do think once you live with someone, that's the closest you can get to knowing them. So yeah, she experienced it. Honestly, she was like, oh shoot, this is what you're like at home? Oh my gosh. And the fact that he had friends coming over and he wouldn't clean up, what is that? What? I'm so confused. Why doesn't he want to clean up when there's literally guests coming over? Hello, girl. Yeah, I think in the long term it wouldn't be good. Imagine if you guys had kids. Who's gonna be doing everything? You. If someone can't even look after the pets well, They probably can't look after the kids well either. That's just what it is. Seriously, like pets are like mini kids. Yeah. And if someone is good at looking after the pet, at least, you know, they can at least handle some sort of responsibility, right? But if they can't even do that, how are they going to look after their own future kids? They're not. They're just going to leave the kids there. So yeah, that's a big red flag. It's already a red flag when he doesn't even let his dogs outside to go poo or pee or walk them. And he has 3. This poor little baby is just staying inside all day and not even allowed like any fresh air and just like marinating in their own poop and puke and pee. That's disturbing. I feel so bad for the dogs, man. Seriously. And that's the thing with people is you're always going to think they're a good person if that's all they want to show you. You know? Like everyone's like, but he's such a nice guy. Like he's just everything I look for. Yeah, well, that's because they're showing you that. They're showing you what you want to see. And that's why. So yeah, this is the person he truly is. Lazy, unhygienic, doesn't take any responsibility, doesn't have sympathy. Like a normal human being with some sympathy would take care of the pets well, you know? I think if I was in her situation, I would break it off. Because you guys know me, I just love dogs so much. Like I just can't deal with it if someone can't take care of their own pets well. It's like a big red flag for me. Don't get a pet if you don't even want to walk them. What the hell? That's the only basic thing you do for your dog is you walk them every day. That's the only time they get their own like little freedom, and even on their walks they would be on a leash. So like that's the little freedom. They get to smell things, they get to see the world, they get to meet other dogs on walks. You know, they get pets from random people. That's like their own little good time they have. My boyfriend wants to break up with me on how I want to dress. Should we break up? Ooh. This is kind of just a preference issue. And it's more like, can you compromise or not? And can he compromise or not? If you guys both can't compromise, then you guys are not for each other. Just some backstory. My boyfriend is the most caring, loving, gentle soul I've ever met, and I don't think we ever came to a point where we were unhappy enough to leave. We've had our ups and downs, and we both come from different cultures, and he has been extremely understanding and patient in my darkest hours, and always cares for me and loves me throughout everything. He's my biggest fan. He never has a problem with anything I do. It's always like that, hey? They're just so amazing, but one thing. However, recently I brought up dressing up for Halloween. He lives quite far from me and told him sometimes I want to dress sexy. I usually dress very modestly, barely have any cleavage out, and don't wear short shorts or skirts. I'm just a regular jeans and t-shirt kind of girl, but on some occasions I feel like dressing up and a bit sexier. And of course I'd want him to think I'm sexy in it too. When I brought it up, he said it was a deal breaker for him and that he wouldn't date a girl who dresses in things that would show off chest and butts. I tried to reason with him to no avail, and he said that this is the only thing he won't bend on. I have no idea how to react on this because I thought we were strong enough to weather any storm, but it seems we are reaching a breaking point with this. Should we break up over this? That's crazy. That's the thing he wants to break up over? Why can't you just love your girl for the way that she is, even if she shows some butt or chest? Like, that's her body. And if it makes her feel good, shouldn't you feel good for her? Like, she's flaunting her body because she loves it. You know what I mean? Like, she's so comfortable in her own body. I think you should be happy for her. Because some people wouldn't even dare do that. But then again, it's their own preferences. They can want someone who dresses modestly and everything. They're just not right for each other then. Just not compatible, I reckon. Yeah, I think, yeah, break up. Because I don't think I can cater to someone where it is like, I don't want you wearing this, else I'm gonna break up with you. It just doesn't sound good. Like, once you listen to that, it's just like, so I can't wear things that make me feel good kind of thing? Wow. So now I have to wear what you like, not what I like. It just doesn't feel good. Like, I want someone who supports me no matter what, whatever I like to wear. I want him to be like, you look so good in that, you know? Ooh, your butt kind of thing. You know, I want him to like compliment me, not be like, keep that away. Don't let anyone else see that. I don't like that. So that's just for me personally. Because real talk, everyone's allowed to have their own preferences, whether they like this or this height, big boobs, whatever, big butts, you know, whether they want the girl to do this or not. Everyone has their own preferences. And whether you can satisfy their preferences, then that's up to you, right? But if you can't, then you guys are not compatible. And you guys should find someone who suits your preferences, kind of thing. Yeah. So no hate to the both of them. They're just not right for each other. Husband resents me for having kids. My husband seems to hate me for having kids. We've been together 12 years, married for 8. We have 2 kids, almost 5 and 2.5. We never talked much about whether we wanted kids early in the relationship. It might come up occasionally, but we both would say maybe someday. As we got older, I started wanting them. When I would ask if he wanted them, he'd say, sure, if you do. I asked if he was against it, and he said no, he just didn't really care either way, but he would if I wanted to. After a couple years of that, I started saying, okay, let's do it. Let's have a kid now. He seemed nervous and would talk about money and logistics and how hard it would be. But I was like, yeah, I know. I started to feel like he really didn't want kids. But when I'd ask, he'd say he doesn't care either way. We both have good jobs. We own a home and are very financially stable. So you can guess how this goes. We now have 2 kids and he constantly makes comments about how I ruined our lives. Child-free friends going on vacation. He makes snide remarks to me about how we won't be doing anything like that for a while, thanks to me. Invited to a party but have no sitter, snide remark. Oh, but then he'll go to the party and leave me with the kids anyway. I have asked why he didn't tell me he didn't want kids before. He did have chances. I flat out asked him and told him to let me know if he doesn't, because it's not something I can compromise. He always said he didn't mind either way. I am so sick of his attitude. It's not like I forced him. You think I did, the way he acts. I have asked him if he wants a divorce. He says he kind of does, but feels bad for the kids. I tell him he's doing no favors to anyone by staying if he's miserable. He treats the kids pretty well. He works a lot, so I do most of the childcare, but he does play with them. He isn't abusive to me or them, and they genuinely love each other. Any advice? I love him and we still do have some good times together. But I'm so sick of the resentment and remarks. It makes me so angry when he says this stuff, and I have told him so. He'll say something stupid like that I don't care about anything but getting my own way, and that I should happy I got what I wanted. Like, no, I wanted a family, not a husband that hates me and avoids being home as much as possible. Is divorce inevitable? That's crazy. Man, that's so sad. But that's so weird though, because if he didn't want kids, why didn't he just say so? Like, that's something that's so important. You can't just be like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. If you want kids, then I do, but maybe not. I don't know. Like, yeah, like she said, it's not something that someone can compromise on. If someone wants kids and you don't want kids, it's for sure okay, let's go our separate ways. I definitely do feel like that's the right thing to do, because you would want kids with someone who also wants kids. So you guys can raise a good family together, kind of thing. You do not want kids with someone who would resent you for having kids, because then it's just not going to be a happy family, right? Although he is treating the kids right, but he keeps on telling his wife that he never wanted kids and that he's sad that his wife ruined his life because he has kids. But the kids love him because he's a good dad. Unless she's making excuses for him that he's a great dad. That's why she's trying to like justify everything so she doesn't need to leave him, because we know a lot of people do that. Like, he's such a good person when he's not drunk, but when he's drunk he hits me. You know, like, people justify that. Alright? It's crazy. So confused, dude. What would you guys do if you guys were in that situation? If you guys were the wife? Oh wait, the answer's already there though, because she asked him if he wants a divorce and he says kind of. Wait, so the answer's already there. He doesn't even love his wife anymore. Oh, shoot. Dude, I'd be heartbroken if I still loved someone and I asked them if they wanted a divorce and they're like, kind of. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I guess he's staying because of the kids, because he feels bad for the kids, right? But he also doesn't want the kids. But there's nothing he can do now, which is why he resents his wife. Yeah. Either marriage counseling and get some couples therapy, or they can go on their own way because that's what he wants. Oh my gosh. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.